We are now with Marty Biron and Frankie Corrado. And Marty, last week we were talking comps and potential dollars for the Stolarz extension. You had the deal coming in well north of the $3.75 million that he signed for.
Yeah.
So just how big of a win is this for Brad Treliving?
It's a huge win. Look, I probably think that the quality of goaltending of Anthony Stolarz would have warranted something in the $5.5 million range. Think of Lucas Dostal making $6.5, Dustin Wolf signing his extension. I get it. Those guys are much younger, so you're buying a lot of the experience and the time that they will be playing at a high level. And Stolarz, being that he's 31, will be 32 when that deal starts. It's hard to put the money, but the quality is there. So I think this is a huge one. You think of goalies that are making more than Stolarz right now. You think of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. You think of Jonas Korpisalo. You think of Joy Decord. Like, these are all making more money than Stolarz. And Stolarz had fantastic numbers last year and as a backup to Bobrovsky in Florida 2 years ago. I think this is such a big win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now that Woll and Stolarz are signed for under $7.5 million combined, that's a huge win.
I wouldn't underestimate how big of a win this is for Anthony Stolarz as well. I know people would look at the number and say 3.75, well, why would he take that? He can get more money. He's also getting a 4-year deal, so he's getting $15 million. And Anthony Stolarz has been injured a lot in his career. He's been a journeyman. He's been a backup. He's never really been handed the keys. Now in Toronto, he's been a very quality goaltender, and he's getting rewarded for that. He's getting 4 years of security. He's getting $15 million to be happy. 15 million reasons to be happy. This is a smart deal for Anthony Stolarz. Sure, he could say, you know what, I'm going to bet on myself and see if I have a big year. But what if there's only a 3-year deal out there for you and you're still making that $15 million at a $5 million AAV at the end of it all? This was a smart piece of business for both sides, Anthony Stolarz and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
All right. Sounds like both sides are happy then as we move forward here. And as you mentioned, both goalies now signed beyond next year. So is the entire defense core. And next summer, the Leafs will need to sign 3 forwards. They now have over $17 million in cap space. So, Marty, after years of just cap despair, are the Leafs finally in position to be big-time buyers?
Well, I think they are, but most of the league will be in the same position with the cap going up and when you look at the cap flexibility that all the teams are going to have. But for Brad Treliving and the Toronto Maple Leafs, this is a luxury. Now you can take advantage of that cap space. I get it. There's going to be some major player potentially entering the market. We'll see what happened with McDavid and Eichel and Kaprizov and all of that. But there is a second-tier level players that I think will be flooding the market. And not only will there be a flooding of the market, that means the prices may come down a little bit. So you have cap flexibility. There will be a lot of players hitting the market. Maybe you're getting another team-friendly deal because somebody wants to go to Toronto, wants to be part of the solution. So I think this is a very, very good situation to be in for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
It's also something that they've been able to design now, having a little more cap flexibility by tacking on an extra year or two at the end of a deal and bringing down the AAV, something that didn't happen under the previous regime. Everyone who came up got their number, and they got their amount of years that they wanted. And basically, everything was right there for the players. Now, if you look at it, Chris Tanev, he got a couple extra years at the end of his deal, but you'll figure that out. John Tavares, he took less money. Anthony Stolarz, now he's brought down his AAV to get an extra year at the end of his deal. So the cap flexibility for Toronto is going to be there naturally, organically, because the cap is going up. But now we have 3 examples of players that when it comes to the AAV have left a little bit on the table, and that should go, a longer way in helping the Toronto Maple Leafs establish their cap position moving forward.
Yeah, all sounds good. Marty, you already convinced me, but if anyone needs more proof that the Leafs got Stolarz at a good number, Stolarz, he will be making that $3.75 million starting next year, and 29 different goalies will make more than that this season.
Yeah.